Joe Greenholz from Dr. Joe's Immigration. Today I'd like to talk a bit about the advantages of approaching immigration as a couple. The main advantage is that couples can share temporary status. We'll come back to what temporary status is, but first let's talk about what's a couple. Under Canadian immigration definitions, there are three kinds of couples. We'll only talk about the first two because the third is kind of rare. The first is a married couple, someone whose marriage was legal where it happened, if it was outside Canada, so whatever country it happened, and the same kind of marriage is legal in Canada, then you're considered to be a married couple. And the second type of common couple is a common law couple. Definition's a little more complicated than just having a marriage license. It starts with living together for a minimum of 12 consecutive months in a block, right? 1 year in a block, in a marriage-like relationship. So a marriage-like relationship means not just roommates, not friends with benefits who have separate addresses, but living together. Immigration has a kind of an old-fashioned, maybe traditional idea of how to recognize a legitimate relationship. And this is true when we talk about family sponsorships later down the line. But marriage-like relationship consists of two things. One, that your community, your family, your friends, the people who know you, care about you, that you interact with, recognize you as a couple and interact with you as a couple so that you're accepted in the community as a couple. And the second part of the traditional definition is that your lives be intertwined, that joint bank accounts, joint credit cards, life insurance policies, work benefits extended to the partner. Those kinds of things are indications of lives that are entwined in a marriage-like relationship. So if you fit that definition, you are a couple. The thing about couples is they're indivisible. Some people ask me, I'm planning to immigrate to Canada. Can I bring my girlfriend later? And so I ask, when you say girlfriend, what's the situation? You say, we've been living together for a couple of years, but blah, blah. And so by immigration definition, they are a couple and she can't be left behind. So that's something to keep in mind. You may be a couple or part of a couple and not even know it. All right, so what does it mean that couples can share temporary status? Status means just the permission to stay in Canada for a certain length of time. And sharing status means that if one person, we'll call that person the principal applicant, has status as a student or a worker, then their partner, their dependent in this definition, also gets a work permit. So if the principal applicant has a full-time study permit, then the partner, not automatically. If the partner's in Canada, it's pretty much automatic, but overseas, not necessarily. But the partner is entitled to apply for an open work permit. And open work permit means no restrictions on employer or location or number of hours or type of work. So similarly with a student, if one partner, the principal applicant, is a worker, then the partner gets an open work permit. So two incomes for the price of one. So there are a lot of advantages in coming together as a couple. Also, if you have children, the dependents, or at least K to 12, the dependents of a student or worker in Canada can attend Canadian schools without paying international fees. So that saves $10,000, $12,000, $15,000 per child, plus they get a Canadian education, which I'm kind of proud of. I think we have a good education system. Lastly, couples can combine their strengths or play off each other to advantage in the immigration system. So for example, I have a couple who unfortunately are in their 50s. I say unfortunately because that means they get no points towards their permanent residence application. However, they're both educated. One has a postgraduate degree, the other a BA. They both speak excellent English. They have lots of overseas work experience. So really, the only thing that they're missing is Canadian work experience, because those extra points will usually put them over the top. So I suggested to them that they buy a business. The advantage when a couple buys a business is that the owner of the business is considered self-employed and so gets no credit for Canadian work experience. But the other partner can be hired, and if that partner can be hired as an executive in particular, then that's a really big advantage towards PR. And so that's where teamwork as a couple may come in handy. So a couple of things to remember, no pun intended. You may be a common law partner without knowing it. Consider the Canadian definition. And there may be advantages in considering a strategy where you immigrate as a couple and use each other's strengths to complement and complete your application. Wow. That's it for this time. Thanks for watching. See you again next time.